All right, I have not done a video on Bertha in a while. Today we're going to be doing some all right, I'm cutting the rockers out before this rust gets too bad, and then we're just going to slap a panel here. Like I said, this truck is a temporary. For you guys that don't know, the plan in the future is to buy an 06, 07 Mega Cab long bed, and realistically the plan is just make this truck okay looking. We're gonna do a slap fix on the rockers. I'm not worried about that, but this whole truck is getting black panels, a black bed, and everything, because the truck that I'm gonna plan on buying in a couple years is going to also be black. So we're gonna get rid of this bullshit here. I'm just gonna cut it out. It's gonna be exactly like a fucking 3500 bed until I can find a bed. I've been looking, I've spent the last week looking for a black bed, and I just cannot find one. So I decided we're gonna cut that out. I'm gonna be replacing a couple of pieces in here. I don't like that this vent doesn't work. These two vents don't work. That one over there is fine, but we have an entire parts truck. So these work, and this one works. So I'm gonna be swapping all of that patch panel, and then we're also checking this guy here, my little light bar. So it works, and that's all that matters. We have left, right turn, you know, the whole bullshit. Let's just start cutting Bertha up, because I'm not worried about the rockers, because you can't see the rockers from here. So we're literally just gonna blend this in right here. The whole truck's gonna be black down the road anyway, and that's how I'm gonna kind of do it. So I'm gonna come back to you guys here in a little bit after I make some cuts. All right, so I cut it out, and you can see there is the inner, so I started pounding that up in. Probably gonna, I think at this point we're at the point of no return. I'm gonna cut as much of that out as possible and probably just start spraying this bed black for shits and giggles. I have a shitload of cans of gloss. Keep in mind, this bed's temporary, so I don't give a shit what we're doing here. Like, the truck itself is great. It's the fucking body. That's what throws me off. The frame's solid. There is one little spot back there that actually I'm gonna touch on once this bed's off, but it's not hurting anything. And then in this video we're also, or next video, I don't know, we're gonna pull that off. Let me get to what I need to do, and I'm gonna pull the taillight off and probably pound, if I can get to it, I'm gonna try to pound that out, but we'll see. I just wish that I could find a decent black bed somewhere. And I did follow this line perfectly, so if it looks a little high in some spots, it's because of that. I don't know. This looks, I don't even know what you guys hear how that sounds? Somebody really wanted that on there. Now, I do have fender flares. I could throw fender flares on it, but I'm not gonna do that. They're sitting over here, but we're probably not gonna do that. All right, guys, so here's where we're at. I got this piece cut out. So what I'm doing is I'm getting close to the edges. I'm gonna come in here with a flap disc and clean a lot of this up. And then I'm just hitting it with the, fuck, I don't even know what I did with it. You ever just set your tools down and you're like, where'd the tool go? Oh, there it is. So once I get close to the edges, just kind of coming in here with the saw. And I get it, guys, this isn't gonna be perfect. It's a temporary bed. I know I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna get some shit in the comments, but if you guys aren't afraid to try something new, or just try something or experiment with something, you're never gonna go anywhere. I didn't get good at what I'm doing by being good at it the second I started doing it. So just keep that in mind. You gotta learn. I figure I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna make it look as nice as possible. Probably go take Bertha and give her a bath once all of the stuff is cut out. And then come back in here and start throwing paint. I'm not gonna take these taillights out yet because I'm gonna need to take this down to the car wash. Like I said, all of this will get, I wanna do something about this gouge here, but I don't know. Temporary bed, so I'm not gonna like spend a shitload of time on it, but I definitely want it to look a lot better than it does. Well, ain't no going back now. I did grind out some of these spots, so there's no gouges, but I am gonna hit this whole thing with some Scotch-Brite, stuff a rag in the hole down here, and start spraying, I guess. I'm not going to tape any of this off because this, I'm going to start, I probably will start throwing coats on there. We'll see how the bed turns out. The bed's the first thing. And I don't know what my opinions are of the roll pan right now, because ideally this is going to be black as well. So I don't know. Might tape that off, might not, might just pull everything off and spray it. I'm going to do this first. I will spray all up in here, because actually I might even just have to take the roll pan off because I want to spray all that too. So one thing at a time. Let's get this bedside done, and then we'll start cutting out the other side. This just for now is going to look like it was a bed off of a 3500, because every single 3500 dually bed has this cutout. All right, guys. Point of no return. I put light coats on it. You don't want to fucking go super heavy. I am going to paint the inside there, but probably just like a rough coat, because obviously nobody wants to see the inside all white. But like I said, not worried about the back of the cab. I do want to try and avoid this, so I'm probably going to put another layer of tape. I am using the heat gun to dry everything, heated up the paint, made sure to brake clean and just get rid of every bit of imperfection that I could. And there is a method to this. It's not just clean and spray, because trust me, I know how to make a bad coat of paint. But I can also make a bad coat come out okay. So, because that, I painted that, all right, and it came out decent. I never clear coated it though, because I don't know if I'm going to be keeping that tank. But there you go. And I forgot to stuff a rag in the hole. I'm actually getting low on rags. We're supposed to be getting an order in the next couple of days. But that's all the rags I have left. So I'm trying to be very cautious and careful with that. All right, so it's not great, but it's not horrible. There's black paint on there. The camera probably shows more of the flaws than I can see in person. Yeah, just kind of wanted to see how it would turn out. I knew it would turn out like shit, but you know what? It's going to force me to actually start looking for a bed and the other body panels, because the doors, they need to go. Fenders, hood, bumper, all that shit. But yeah, it kind of covers it up though. It makes it look like a, you know, an actual bed. I don't know. It's kind of fucked. But this bed was destined for the scrapper to begin with. So that's one side. Not sure how many coats I'm gonna do. Might just try to find the imperfections and mess with them. So, all right, so the plan here is gonna be, next time I'm not gonna paint the other side until I've cut out all of the rust. The other side's not bad. This side, this door, I'll probably just sand the bottom where any of the rust is at, and I'll probably sand that. But I'm gonna get these rockers cut off real quick and then just put the cab corner in, and I'm gonna be fine with that. So I'll show you guys the aftermath. We got the cutoff blade somewhere. I set it down, yeah, right there. And then I got a bigger blade here. So gonna get on the floor and just start cutting. Shit's fucked. Look at that. Starting to cut it out. I'm gonna cut all of that out. Something's smoking here. Hopefully something just catches on fire and burns the truck down. Just kidding. I don't really, not in the mood for that to happen. Yeah, I'm gonna keep cutting. The plan is to keep the doors on. So if I can't get into a certain area, I might just switch over to the Sawzall. But that's how we're gonna do it. You can see like the inners are completely fucked. Look at that. I can just break that off. But there's supposed to be speed holes in here, and the speed holes are lighter than carbon fiber at this point. All right, so I have cut an astronomically insane amount of fucking rust out of here. All right, so here's where we're at. I'm gonna take the flap disc to this here and anything on the bottom here just to kind of cover it up before we paint it. I'm gonna go over all the edges as well with the flap disc and just throw some black in here. Like I said, the main goal is when you open this door, I don't give a shit that there's no rockers. That's not what's gonna bother me, because I will get rockers for it eventually. The main goal is just, hey, there's no rust. It looks like a clean truck and black. not clean, but I mean, it'll be a clean truck. Like I pull up, the truck's washed, there's not oil all over it, there's no rust all over it. And this, I gotta find out how I wanna mount that in there. Get it as flush kinda as possible. Let's close this door. Like somewhere in there so that Bertha has an actual an actual thing. Main thing, just there you go. If this was a permanent truck, like if I knew I was just gonna run a crew cab long bed for the rest of my life, I would just go buy another cab, honestly. Like this, I wanted to buy a truck with a little bit of rust to experience it, and yeah, sometimes bad decisions are made. So, at least we have that, and then for the other side we have that, but I don't think I'm gonna use the other side, but this one was definitely the bad side. All right, it is the end of the day, so this is where we're at. Got a bunch of rust off. Yeah, so tomorrow, luckily this side is not nearly as bad. I'm pretty sure on this side, all I'm gonna have to do is just sand off most of this. I don't think I'm gonna have to cut anything out, hopefully. Like the rockers are still solid, but there is this. So we'll actually, yeah, I don't know, we might end up cutting shit off on this side too. Back here, I'm hoping that this is solid. So I'm just gonna sand that down. Hopefully don't have to replace anything. I really hope that the body physically lasts long enough, and I'm saying body-wise I'm hoping that the cab lasts long enough that I can just go buy the truck that I want down the road. And like I said, it's gonna be the same exact truck as this, just a mega cab long bed. I just need to find a good deal on one and figure out if I wanna run an automatic or manual, because like I'm between the two right now. I love the automatic. The manual has its perks, but at the same time, I'm leaning more towards the auto. So tomorrow, get this cut out, paint the bed, get all of the rust and everything cut out as much as possible, and then we're gonna slowly replace panels as they come. So as I find fenders, I'm not gonna paint the bumper because I'm gonna try, we got a 5th gen bumper over here, and I'm gonna try to pop this thing together and see if it's something I can get to fit my truck, because it's just sitting here. We'll see. And then I just need to make brackets for it to fit. As much as the black, as much as my paint job is probably kind of ass, I don't regret it, because the black just, this brings me back. I would prefer the black. Like this side, I like this side with the cutout more than I like this side with the repair. So the white just, I don't like it. And then you got the black on black taillights. Just, oh, I love it. It's not gonna be perfect. As we replace panels, it'll look better and better. New doors, new fender, like I'm just gonna buy everything black as it comes in. This bed will be the temporary. I say it'll be a temporary, but watch me not be able to find a bed for 6 months, but I don't know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna back this thing up, close the shop down, and get the fuck out of here. All right, so we're gonna tackle this side next. I just backed it out, pulled it back in. So, side's all right. It's not like we're not gonna win any awards or whatnot. I wanna get that bed side done and cut all of the rust out before we start throwing paint on it. And we'll go from there. I only have 1 can of paint left anyway, so I'm gonna have to run out today regardless. This is not gonna be done today, I can guarantee you that. But I'm gonna cut, that I'm just gonna grind out, and whatever's savable. This rocker, I'm gonna cut out whatever I need to. It looks like the rocker itself is pretty solid the whole way up, except right here where I started kicking holes into it. I mean, I don't have anything to lose at this point because cutting that out. So, and we got this piece over here in case we need it. And this one's way lower. So this one's not as bad. This, I guess we'll see. But the reason, if you guys weren't watching, the reason this bed is a temporary is because if you can see right up in there, the only thing holding this bed together is this frame that I built. This thing here, that goes the whole way up. So that's the only thing holding this bed together. That's the reason this bed hasn't decided to just crumble itself down in. And it really does suck that a truck can be reliable, but the body can be shit. So it's just one of those, I need to sit down and just do it. It's not a big deal. And I don't know if you guys will see it black in this video, but I at least want to get a lot of this stuff, and I want to get this front bumper pulled because I do plan on selling this bumper and I don't want anything to happen to it. So we're going to get that pulled as well. Fenders, haven't decided what I want to do with them yet. And hood, I haven't decided what I wanted to do with these yet because these parts are all good. I could honestly sell the hood and fenders, and I mean, I just need to find a black front clip. I think the only thing wrong with this fender here is this gash here, which that doesn't bother me, and that getting pounded in. It's a work truck, it's gonna get beat. All right guys, I went a little crazy. So we got this side cut out. I've decided not to try to grind all of this stuff out because on the other side, you can definitely see it in the paint, which I know. It was one of those, but if you don't try something, you're never gonna know, but you can definitely see it. It is what it is because the paint is physically thicker than that, so it's gonna show up. It is what it is, guys. I'm not worried about it. So over here, we're just gonna grind out. I got out all the rust up here. I cut out the inside fenders, whatever's in there. I cut this little piece out. I cut this rocker out because like this side's just absolutely atrocious. There's still a lot of internal rust, and like I was saying, if this was a permanent truck, it's getting a new cab. But since it's not, I'm not worried about it. These doors are a temporary until I can find some black ones. So I'm probably just gonna, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I wanna cover everything up and just give it a nice black coat or a black coat. Probably just, the rockers are the one thing, actually I'm not gonna say the rockers. The cab corners are the one thing I do need to do because when I pull up to customers, I don't open the passenger doors. Like there's just no need for me to. So what I think I'm gonna do is just make a piece that goes and covers that. And then on this other side, the other side's way worse. But I feel like once I throw some black over it, it probably won't look as bad as it does. I'm also gonna cut that out. So this side, yeah, that doesn't look bad. Nobody's gonna, unless you're like a car guy, no one's gonna know. But this side, I am gonna definitely put the cab corner there because we're kind of missing it. So it is what it is. It's coming together. This is gonna be a few-day project. I definitely we got a ton of work coming in next week, so I need to hurry up and get this shit done, get this bumper pulled, and just the amount of work that's gonna go into this is like, I'm probably gonna spend 3 or 4 or 5 full 8-hour days on this. Like this is not a small project, and I will never buy a truck that has rust on it again, I'll tell you that. I had to do it just to know why I shouldn't do it, but realistically, if I could just take this truck and if I could just plop a new body down on Bertha, this would be a perfect truck. But unfortunately, that's not realistic right now, and I'm definitely not swapping cabs. And yeah, guys, seriously, hit me up, call the shop, or send me an email if you have a good black bed, black doors, black fender, or a black hood. Please don't just tell me in the comments that you have one and then never hit me up because I can't contact you guys from the comment section. All right, so this is what she looks like before we take to the car wash. All right, I got the front bumper off. Still haven't decided what I want to do with the front, but we do know I want to go get all of this washed. I'd like to get as much of the cab painted as I can. I'd like to paint this thing here. I'd like to do inside the jams, and I need to do the doors at a bare minimum because the doors, I think this door is probably the best one, but there's still a little piece here. And then if I look on the inside, like I'm gonna replace all the doors, not just the ones I choose. This here and that, I don't know if I'm gonna cut that out or I'm just gonna paint over it. Like I said, temporary. Someone's gonna give me shit in the comments. But this one, I definitely had to cut out. I ended up cutting a bunch of that out and getting rid of as much as possible. This rocker's perfectly fine. And then I cut a little bit out of the front door and then all of this. So I left a little bit. This you're gonna be able to see, but I'm gonna build a piece that goes from here to there. I've got plenty of steel over there. And then that piece there I'll do as well. But I wanna get it painted first, see where we're at, see what it looks like. That way, when the paint's dry, I can go through and do these little patch panels. I'd rather do it, I need a break from cutting and grinding because I am just getting pelted by this shit. Those sleeves help a little bit, but they don't help up here. So that's where we're at. I'll go give Bertha a pretty decent wash down. I got the degreaser in there. Go give her a wipe down, and then I don't want to overspray on certain things like this here. I'm gonna be pulling this out, taping off the windows. I might actually put the window down and just do it with the door open. I don't know. I know I'm not gonna be doing the inside of the doors. I'm not worried about that because I know they're getting replaced. I just want it to look good from the outside. So that's where we're at. That's kind of my logic on it. Oh, I got 2 or 3 days to complete this project, and then Monday we're back in here and I'm busy as shit. So I just want to get as much done. All right, so I just went and got the truck washed. My half-ass Mako paint job held up all right in the car wash. So I sprayed everything, I degreased everything, I took a mitt to everything. So main focus is with the paint that I have left is I just want to get the bed and this little black strip here and all up in here. So that'll be my project for today, and then we'll see how long it takes me to do the doors and how I want to do the doors. I think I want to try to touch on the back of the cab first. Keep in mind, when we do get this bed off, like when I actually have a replacement bed, I am going to be taking the cab to actually get painted professionally, like proper paint code, proper, we're gonna be doing the clear coat and all that stuff, but that's not gonna be until the bed is done. And I'm not gonna fix this back window here. You can see this is coming out. I'm gonna have the back window pulled. I'm gonna have like everything's gonna be done correctly. The doors are gonna be coming off. All of this is gonna be painted professionally, but I'm not gonna do that until the bed is getting replaced. So I'm just gonna throw literally a half-ass paint job, just cover this up to here, and then cover as much of the inside as I possibly can. That's it. In here, probably just gonna tackle the bottom portion. So I'm not gonna try to do a professional paint job on the inside of this thing, knowing that this cab is going to be getting repainted with the doors off, with the fenders off. But everything, it's not until down the road. Once I find a bed, that's when it's gonna happen. So it could be 2 weeks from now, it could be 2 months from now. I don't know. Someone needs to I need to find a bed. If one of you guys can find me a bed, cool. I've been having trouble finding a decent bed that isn't $2,000. There's no reason that these beds should be that much. Well, it's not pretty, but it's a black bed, and that's all that matters. I guess I finally tackled it. I've been saying I'm gonna spray bomb Bertha for the longest time before I go and buy a new body, but that's where we're at. Definitely not gonna ruin that bumper. That's a decent bumper. If anybody wants a good 3rd gen bumper with no fog lights, let me know. I actually have 2 of them because I have that one over there as well. But that's where we're at. Black bed. Yeah, I'm gonna say, even though it looks like shit, it still looks better being black than it did white. I hate white. I don't know why. I just don't like it. Alright, so we're running out of time here. I got customer stuff coming in here soon. I definitely need to get this thing pulled out, and I'm just gonna set it aside and put it on the back burner. I have been getting work lined up from you guys pretty decently. So the more I can get, the more I can focus on this on the side, and I don't have to worry about going and running any Hotshot loads here soon. So if you guys see the work that we're putting out on the actual customer trucks and you can see the quality that's going into them, feel free, send us anything. We've got, actually people have been shipping trucks to me. I got one coming up Monday from Florida. I got one coming from Texas in the next 2 weeks as well. And then that black truck up on the hill, I'm still waiting on a PCM from that. That one came from Alabama. So just keep that in mind. If you have anything that is like tricky or hard to diagnose, or you just want something quality, send it up to us. We're in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, cpstevemiller.com. No, we're not doing shit like this for customers. This is just, I'm learning stuff on my own stuff, on my own truck, and I didn't get to where I'm at today by being afraid to take chances on something. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully next video you will see Bertha even more black than she is now, and hopefully we get a bumper here soon. But I say that, and every time I say something, it ends up in the next video, and it is what it is. Appreciate you guys for being patient with me. See you later.